Hi, this is Natalie Hoffman of FlyingFreeNow.com, and you're listening to the Flying Free Podcast, a support resource for women of faith looking for hope and healing from hidden emotional and spiritual abuse. Welcome to episode 112 of the Flying Free Podcast. I wish you could see me right now. I've got this pop filter that broke. You know, it's supposed to go in front of your microphone so that your microphone doesn't pick up all of the P's and, the things that use the consonants that pop, okay? And it broke, so I have another one coming, but in the meantime, I have to literally hold this thing with my hand. So it looks really professional. I should have someone take a picture of this. Okay, so anyway, I just want to have a heart-to-heart with you today. I'm imagining that we are sitting in a living room with our coffee and our tea. I'm a tea drinker now. I don't really know how it happened. Actually, that's not true. I kind of know how it happened. But I mean, I drank coffee every morning starting in college. And I loved those flavored creamers, like the unhealthy ones, vanilla and caramel and hazelnut. And of course, when I was a mom with 500 children, coffee is a staple, right? Okay? It was like my little oasis every day. And then I wanted to lose some weight because of the 500 children. And I learned that flavored creamers I was educating myself in how to lose weight. And I learned that the flavored creamers weren't helping me. So I switched to full fat cream and stevia. And that took some getting used to. Well, not the full fat cream. That actually took zero getting used to. I immediately took to that like a baby to you know what I mean. So anyway, that became my new staple. And as I grew older, I found that I really liked the strong coffee with my cream and stevia. And I also discovered that I was less and less tolerant of those really rich, sweet drinks at Starbucks. They just became too sweet for me, and they gave me a stomach ache and a headache. My brain kept telling me, these are delicious. You must love them. I told myself, my brain told me that I was weird, that I didn't like them. I mean, who doesn't like a really yummy Starbucks Frappuccino, right? So that was my brain's programming, but my body kept screaming no every time I would have one. Which wasn't that often, okay? But eventually my body won and my brain settled down. So fast forward to last year. I was up by 25 pounds in January of 2020. And I really, honestly, I didn't feel the greatest. So I decided that I was going to lose 20 pounds in 2020, right? Doesn't that sound cute? Lose 20 in 2020. And I did. I actually did it. But one of the things I tried was switching to tea and coconut milk. And I found that I actually liked it. I started trying different teas, like, I wanted to get to know all of the teas, the blacks and the whites and the greens and the herbals and the oolongs. And I found myself turning to tea instead of coffee in the morning. Now, every once in a while, I would turn to coffee. My husband drinks coffee, and the other young adults in our family really like coffee too. So sometimes it's just sitting there in the morning, and my brain says, it's good. Remember? You used to like it. Try it again. Maybe you've been temporarily insane for several months. Come back to the land of coffee. You're not British. You're Norwegian, for the love of Sven. So I try it. In fact, just a few days ago, I tried it. And I threw it down the sink after 2 sips. Nope. I'm going back to tea. Do you want to know my favorites? Okay, I start off the day with a black tea from a place called Tea Source in Minnesota. And the tea is called Minnesota Nice. Isn't that nice? So yeah, Tea Source is right here. All the B&Bs around here carry Tea Source if they know what's good for them, which is making money while giving good folks a relaxing break in the freezing cold tundra. Next, I transition to my favorite oolong from the Tea Spot. It's called Coconut Cabana. And that's like my mid-morning walk on the beach. Delicious. After lunch, I have a cup of my favorite green tea from the August Tea Company called Cambrai. And I'm not a huge fan of green tea, I'm going to be honest, but I really like this one. It's got vanilla and cardamom. Mid-afternoon, I am drinking my favorite tea on the entire planet of Earth. It's a white tea, also from August Tea Company, called Know by Heart. And I can tell you that I know by heart it's my fave. It's got orange blossom, almond, and honey. And I just can't even. At night, I drink my second favorite tea on planet Earth. It's an herbal tea called Evening in Missoula, also from Tea Source here in Minnesota. Now, if they called it Evening in Minnesota, would I like it as much? I'm not sure. Maybe. But knowing that it is a cup of Missoula feels so much more exotic. So where were we? Oh, yes, we're in the living room drinking tea. What are you drinking? Right about now, you're possibly reaching for some whiskey just to get you through this podcast episode. Okay, let me tell you what I want to tell you for today. I have talked to hundreds, possibly thousands of women by now, Christian women who have lived with or are currently living with emotional abuse. And of course, the spiritual abuse is a given for Christian women because they are brainwashed with this idea that God says that the way they're being treated is not only normal and okay, but it's actually bringing glory to God. And He loves it when women are treated this way. It's His freaking plan for the love of Jehoshaphat, Mother Mary, and King Herod. I used to believe this too. I used to not just believe it, but I taught it. I had this group of women that I had organized called Visionary Womanhood, and I even started a blog by the same name. I was all in. I was also stuck in many ways, internally stuck, because that's what gaslighting does to you. It's a crazy feeling when you're drowning and the folks around you are laughing and playing and telling you that you're just making it up in your head, or that if you just laugh and play like them, you wouldn't be dying right now. I truly believed they were normal and I was the freak. Part of what got me unhooked was finally calling a spade and making my own decisions for my own life. I had to stop waiting for someone else to rescue me. I had to stop asking for permission all the time. I had to stop being paralyzed by my fear of failure. I had to stop trying to be perfect and just look in the mirror and say, "You were right all along, girl. They don't care about you." And that's okay. Do you care about you? And then I answered that question fiercely. I love you, and I will always have your back from now on. And I've never turned back since. Now, that doesn't mean that my brain's programming doesn't keep trying to run in its loop, but it does mean that I notice when it's looping on some old programming. And I interrupt it with a quick reminder of the new loops that we are creating. So just the other day, I had this song from Frozen on my phone. It's a song called Show Yourself. And I was getting ready for the day. I was just putting on my makeup and brushing my hair. And I had this compulsion to lean toward the mirror and look deep into my own eyes and sing Show Yourself to myself. Okay? I could see myself connecting with myself through my eyes. It was really kind of weird. And then my eyes filled with tears. And it was quite a powerful experience. And try it. You guys, that's my vision for all of you. Nobody is going to see you or know you the way that you need to be seen and known. Not even the most amazing partner. It's just not possible on this planet. Not 100% of the time. I'm not saying that you won't experience that in moments. But nobody is going to know you the way that... Well, first of all, it's a kind of a no-brainer that our Creator knows us, right? We're Christians. That's what we believe. But there is someone besides our Creator who can actually be on our side 100% of the time, if you want her to be. And that's yourself. I'm telling you, this is your superpower. Once you have this as the background programming that's always running behind the scenes of everything, that you experience, think, feel, or do, your life is going to change. But so many of us are running on the old programming, which says over and over in a loop, you are bad, you're a failure, you're not worthy, you don't deserve that. Your life is meaningless. You make people unhappy. It's all your fault. You need to let others use you in order for you to have a purpose, and on and on and on. This is the work I do. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to brainwash you the other way. I believe that it's in alignment with the heart of the Creator for you and the human race. I believe He wants His daughters to be running free and full of love. And they can't do that when they're curled up in a corner trying to hide from all the abusive humans in the world. I believe you can be a Christian woman who is divorced and still be living in a cage of fear and powerlessness. The door is wide open, but you are afraid to come out and fly. And I also believe that you could be a Christian woman still in an emotionally and spiritually abusive relationship who is flying free internally because she is learning how to love herself the way God loves her. Every 6 months, I open up my Flying Free program for new members to join us in this work. Flying Free is for women of faith who believe they may be in an emotionally abusive relationship and who wants to learn more about who they can be in spite of that relationship. I teach these women how to let go of trying to change their husbands and all the other people in their lives, and I teach them how to live lives of freedom and hope and internal strength in spite of what they have to listen to on a daily basis that tells them otherwise. Your husband or your family of origin may have programmed you to believe a certain way. But as an adult, you get to now decide if you want to keep that programming or change it. A lot of women aren't motivated to change their programming for themselves. They're so used to throwing themselves under the bus, but when they see their kids growing up with the same programming, then they suddenly realize how wrong it is, and they don't want to throw their kids under that same bus. So in that way, sometimes kids can even be the catalyst for a woman deciding to get help for herself. Because the fact is, you can only help your kids as far as you are able and willing to help yourself. If they see mom believing that she is worthless, they will internalize that and believe that they are also worthless. Here's the deal. Today, at the time of the release of this episode, it's March 31st, and Flying Free is open for only 2 more days through Friday, April 2nd. It's only $29 a month to join or $290 for a full year of a lot of good stuff. So let me tell you a little bit about it, okay? As soon as you join, you will have immediate access to 13 courses. I take you through the very first course in your first month because that first course lays a foundation for everything else that we do. But after that, you can pick and choose the courses that you want to take whenever you want to take them. It takes about a month to go through each course. These include courses on complex post-traumatic stress disorder, parenting, your relationship with God, unraveling scripture, dealing with a dysfunctional relationship, boundaries, divorce basics, and more. Again, each course takes about a month to go through. You can actually opt into getting the course delivered to your email inbox, and we will deliver that course to you 1 lesson every 3 days. So these courses are super doable. They're not overwhelming. I also offer 1 hour of coaching every week, and you can come live and get coached, or you can watch the replays. These coaching sessions play a really important role in deprogramming your brain and offering it new thoughts and ways of looking at things that have brought very huge breakthroughs for many women. Not just the ones getting coached either. Listening to coaching is life-changing as well, especially as I'm coaching women who are all typically struggling with the same issues. So a breakthrough for one ends up being a breakthrough for hundreds. As soon as you join, you also have access to a vault with hours and hours worth of expert workshops from advocates like Bob Hamp, Gretchen Baskerville, Patrick Doyle, Sarah McDougall, and many, many more. And we also give you a brand new expert workshop every single month. There's also a growing vault of butterfly story videos where women just like you share their stories of how they got into and then got out of their abusive relationships and what they're doing now to continue to grow and evolve into the best version of themselves. You'll get to hear a brand new butterfly story every single month as well as being able to access all of the ones that have been there for a while. Do you like to get together for live online events? We do that every month too. We do that through a sisterhood gathering once a month where we break down into small groups and get to know each other, as well as a once a month live Q&A where you can ask any question you want and I will answer it. Even if you can't come live, you can watch the replay in the vault and get the answers you need. And there's almost 4 years worth of Q&A videos in the vault. It's a crazy amount of stuff in that vault, you guys. You have instant access to it. Of course, you can never, ever go in there and do all of it. That would be impossible. But if you think of it like, kind of like when you open up Netflix on your TV, do you think that you have to go in and watch every show? Of course not. You pick and choose the shows that you want to watch. That's what it's like in this membership program. It's like Netflix. There's millions of things in there, but you can pick and choose what you need at that moment for your life. And then finally, we have an online forum with hundreds of members where you can talk about what's going on in your life. You can ask for prayer. You can interact with me, other coaches, and other women who can help support you through this transformational work that you're doing from caterpillar to butterfly. You guys, I send out a survey after the first month of Flying Free to all of the new members. And I also send out an exit survey when people leave the program. And the overwhelming feedback is that this program saves lives. Sometimes literally, but definitely figuratively. People rave about this program. And there's a reason for that, because it works. If you want more concentrated help and support for what you're going through, and if you're ready to quit trying to change your husband and you're ready to transform your own life and your own programming, then this program is going to be an incredible fit for you. So as I mentioned earlier, it's $29 a month. When the time comes to register, you can pay with a credit card or you can pay with PayPal. And you'll automatically be charged every month on the same day that you subscribed. But you can unsubscribe at any time. We don't hold any captives here. We're trying to teach people to fly free, okay? Your payment is going to show up on your credit card as going to N. Hoffman. So it's not going to say it's not going to say on your credit card statement, group for abuse survivors, okay, to tip off your husband or anybody else, all right? Now, the option to purchase a 1-year membership for $290 is going to save you $58. It's basically you're getting 12 months for the price of, for the price of 10. An annual membership will also get you a free PDF download of my book, Is It Me? Making Sense of Your Confusing Marriage, and a PDF download of the Is It Me? Companion Workbook. So that right there is worth the $29 of your first month. But nevertheless, we do get the question, what if Flying Free is too expensive for me? I just want to point out that Flying Free costs a fraction of what a lot of you guys are paying for counseling, up to $150 a pop. And medical bills, people are paying for medical bills to deal with the psychological and physical repercussions of emotional abuse. And many women have told me that Flying Free has had a greater impact on their healing than either of those two things. So if you knew that you would be a different person in a few short months, because in a really incredibly life-transforming way, do you think that the cost of Flying Free would be worth that? However, there probably are some of you who are in a position where you absolutely have zero wiggle room financially. So in that case, I would recommend that you can see if a friend or a family member would be willing to sponsor you with a 1-year subscription. You could tell them that you're going to send them updates on how their investment is paying off in your life. People love to know how they can help. Sometimes all you need to do is ask. I'll just let you guys know this. We did used to offer scholarships. Once a month, I would send out a scholarship. I also gave free scholarships to a bunch of women who were part of a program where they were getting helped. And these were all women who were in financial trouble, okay? And I found that less than 10% of the women that got free scholarships actually came in and did the program. And the reason, this is just a normal, it's just normal human nature kind of stuff. But the reason for that is because we don't value what's free. We don't value free things. And this program only works if you actually do the program. So if plunking down your money, you guys, I just actually paid to hire a nutrition expert, a fitness expert to help me for 6 months. And one of the reasons why, I literally wanted to pay for this because I knew that if I paid for it, that I would do the work. I was going to show up and do the work. And I am. And so that's just human psychology, all right? So what if you don't want your payment traced by your husband, though? And I'm just basically what I'm doing right now is going through some of the facts that are on the page. If you go to joinflyingfree.com, you will see all of these facts written down, plus a lot of other information. So if this is kind of flying over your head really quickly, just go to joinflyingfree.com and you'll, all of this is written down there. But one of the ways that we've solved, or that some of the women have solved this problem of not wanting their payment traced by their husband, is to purchase a preloaded Visa gift card at Walmart or another drugstore or something. And banks also sell them. The only problem with that is that you can only purchase 1 month at a time. So you'd have to keep getting a new card and you'd have to continuously update your card every month. Otherwise, you'd end up getting canceled out. But another idea is you could have a friend or family member use their credit card. You could register with their credit card and then you can pay them back with cash. Those are some different ways. What if I don't have a lot of time to devote to Flying Free? That's another question that I get. But I just want you to know, again, that Flying Free doesn't really take a lot of time, okay? There's a buffet of options within the Flying Free membership group, but it's exactly that. It's a buffet, kind of like Netflix, all right? But in a buffet, you don't have to eat every single dish. You just can sample the things to see if you like them or if they work for you, and then stick with the ones that you like the best, that are meeting your specific needs each month. Even if all you did was come in and read the lesson each week, once every 3 days, packed with life-changing insights into emotional abuse and into your healing process, or you just watch the videos, you're going to get your money's worth and you're going to begin to make those changes in your brain's programming. So you're going to have brand new thoughts you've never thought before. And those thoughts, when you change your brain, you guys, that's how you change your life. It starts up in your head, all right? Or maybe you just want the support and fellowship of other women going through exactly what you're going through. And the community forum might be all that it takes to give you what you need to heal. Although you can get that kind of help free on Facebook. There's lots of free Facebook groups out there. So if you're just looking for that, go over to Facebook and get that help there. But it is nice to be in a community forum with other women who are actually doing this work, doing the same work that you're doing and working on the same things. So how does Flying Free compare to other similar groups available to me? Well, there are some other groups out there that are similar to Flying Free, but here's some of the ways that we're different, okay? I believe we're the only program like it that offers weekly coaching using a powerful coaching tool. It is a cool tool that I was trained in called the Model. And I'm a trained certified coach using this model through the Life Coach School. My clients regularly, through this model, they regularly experience massive shifts in their thinking and their emotions, and ultimately in the results that they're creating for themselves. Another way that we're different is that as the creator of Flying Free, I have over 25 years of experience in an emotionally abusive marriage, as well as experience dealing with spiritually abusive counselors and church leaders for many years. I'm not only a professional educator and coach, I am your sister survivor walking beside you. There are so many nuances and layers to emotional abuse, and I am intimately familiar with all of them. A third thing, a way that we stand out or that we're a little bit different is that I have read hundreds of books and resources directly related to emotional and spiritual abuse, and I have vetted the cream of the crop. I can not only direct women to the best resources for their particular needs, but I've written several courses available to all Flying Free members that break down the things that I've learned into easy, bite-sized lessons that are perfect for women who are still in the thick of the battle and don't have the time or the energy to study the prolific amount of information that's out there. Another thing that's different is that I am personally involved every day in this group. You're going to find me in the private forum, in the weekly coaching sessions, in live chats and Q&As each month. You are my priority. And finally, I bring other professional authors, counselors, advocates, pastors, all the people to you so that you can learn from a wide variety of experts, not just me. I want you to meet and experience the insights and wisdom that dozens of other advocates and former survivors bring to the table so that when your time here is over, you have a tool chest chock full of resources at your fingertips. So you may be wondering if you're even in an emotionally abusive relationship. You know, what if you're not, and this is not going to be the right program for you? And that would be wonderful. But that's one of the most confusing problems to figure out is, am I in an abusive relationship or not? And I'm telling you, the Flying Free program is going to help you do exactly that. If you're not ready for Flying Free yet, I highly recommend that you get my book, Is It Me? Making Sense of Your Confusing Marriage. That book will help you discover whether or not you're in an emotionally abusive relationship and the next steps that you can take to find hope and healing again. So what if you're not ready to separate from or divorce your husband? Is Flying Free still going to be a good fit for you? People are wondering this. I've had people wonder if Flying Free teaches or advocates that everyone needs to be separated or divorced from their husband. And I just want to say this right now. We have people in Flying Free that have made every single different kind of choice that you could possibly imagine for their lives. There are so many options for you. And the timing and what you choose to do is completely up to you. That's why it's called Flying Free. We want you to be free to be an adult that makes your own decisions for your life. So we have women, and we support you in whatever your decision is. We've got women in Flying Free who are committed to staying in their marriage relationship, and they are working on themselves and growing strong. One member's husband was so impressed with the changes in his wife that now he is starting to change. Is that common? No, but it is possible. It's actually pretty rare, but I'm just saying it has happened, okay? My point is that getting strong and healthy can only be a good thing, whether or not your spouse changes. All right. We also have other people in Flying Free who are trying out separation for a short period of time with the hopes of getting back together. Some that are in the divorce process, and some that are divorced but still healing. I do have another program called Flying Higher, which is for divorced Christian women. And I didn't have that before. That's new this year. So some of those divorced women are going over to Flying Higher, but we still have some divorced women who want to stay in Flying Free because they're still healing from a lot of the trauma that they experienced. Flying Free is very careful and gentle and nurturing. And Flying Higher is more like me kind of going, let's go, we got to do this. So some people aren't quite ready for that yet. Okay, so you might be wondering, what if I'm dealing with my own anger issues and unforgiveness? And I just want to say that reacting to abuse in unhealthy ways just means that you need help with your boundaries. That's it. It's totally normal and it's okay. Flying Free is going to give you the tools that you need to grow strong in your own boundaries so that you can respond to abuse as a mature adult woman rather than a trapped cat in a corner. What if you're afraid to change? You guys, our brains always say that. No, we don't want to change. We want to keep going on the same programming. It's efficient. That's what our brains do. And you don't have to change. You can just tell your brain, it's okay. You don't have to change. Change is completely up to you. You can take it slow, or you can, all of a sudden, you might have a major epiphany overnight. But Flying Free is never going to force you to do or change anything. If you do join and you change, which I believe you will, I promise, it's only going to be because you want to. Flying Free is going to help you make an honest assessment of what's going on in your life, but also empower you to make good decisions that will be healthy for you and your family. So that's what I have to offer you for today. If this sounds like something you want to learn more about, head over to joinflyingfree.com. There are a ton of reviews over there and all of the details, so you can make a good choice that's right for you. Thank you for listening, and until next time, fly free.